the Taliban have not really broken their ties with the terrorist group, including Al Qaeda, that's for sure. Of course, well, this is the resistance of the people. And this is the people who want to defend their own homeland and their territory, their lives, and their family. So at the moment, for the past 4 days, there have been successive Taliban attacks on the resistance in the Panjshir Valley, but so far they have not succeeded yet. But they have brought a lot of forces, thousands of forces from across Afghanistan to really hammer out Panjshir and to attack it. But so far, still the resistance is holding. And of course, this is substance, this is the people, this is their aspiration, motivation that they're holding up. Well, we really don't know exactly. It does not make logic. Probably some may say that they have lost out to terrorism or to extremism. And some may say that, well, because of economic burden, they left Afghanistan. And some others say that, well, because of the regional conflict, they want to enter a new chapter as far as regional conflict is concerned. So we don't know, but whatever we think, it does not make a logic that after 20 years of really investing in Afghanistan, to leave everything to Taliban, to extremist forces, and to leave all the values. So it means that, I mean, what they have done, they have sold out all the values that they have invested, and they have told us for the past 20 years to do it: democracy, election, women's rights, men's rights, and everything. So they themselves came to fight terrorism, and after 20 years, they gave back to the Taliban, from Taliban to Taliban, and they sold out all of those values. Well, of course, there are individuals, there are parties, there are some circles that they are voicing, they are raising their voice to back resistance, but which, of course, we all appreciate that one, because the resistance really holds that sort of universal values that everybody respect that one. So that is why they are raising their voices to back the resistance, and which we welcome it. And I'm sure that in the United States of America, there are people who may think otherwise than Biden or some other people who will think that, well, what happened? That all our investments are going in vain, and that's not right. So we do appreciate. Well, of course, the role of Pakistan is very, very important as far as peace is concerned, because Pakistan is our neighbor. It's got 2,400 kilometers of the border. It's very crucial, their role at peace in Afghanistan as well as at war in Afghanistan. So therefore, it's very crucial. That's why that we made a trip to Pakistan, some of the leaders, to really start a dialogue with the Pakistani leadership, and we did it. And we stated that, look, it's best that you use your influence on Taliban to bring peace to Afghanistan. It's for the best of both countries, not only both countries, for the best of the whole region. That's right. So, of course, their role is very, very crucial. And let's see what they have promised, that, well, we will do our utmost to do something. And we are waiting what exactly they are doing. It seems that probably the Taliban may not listen to them, or they may not be able to do something, because for the past 4 days, what happened, the fighting erupted around Panjshir. It means that still those promises have not been materialized. Well, we talked to the military as well as political leadership, and they gave assurance that they will talk to Taliban about the peace. But so far, still, we have not seen yet the sign if their role has been effective. No, I'm not in close touch with them, but what I know is that all the regional countries, especially those countries which are involved in Afghan affairs, that's very important. They can play a very important role in Afghanistan. There is no doubt about this one. And of course, for a long, long time, we have been saying that all the countries who have got a conflict with each other, they should avoid really making Afghanistan as their kind of rivalry ground for that one. And today also, we are saying that all countries, especially regional, neighbor, and extra-regional countries, that to reach consensus as far as Afghanistan is concerned, because Afghanistan peace has got two pillars. One pillar is, of course, inside Afghanistan, which the different ethnicity must come to some sort of consensus there to make a system through which they can live with each other, as well as with the international community. And the second, of course, is the consensus of the regional power to really come into some sort of consensus as far as Afghanistan is concerned. No, I don't think if there is difference. Don't forget that Taliban is a ideological movement. When you have got ideological movement, you cannot really change yourself so easily, and you stick with your own ideology. Then when you stick with your own ideology, naturally you become very extreme and very fanatic like that. So you cannot see much of the changes, especially in practice. We have seen that since they have come. People are fleeing, thousands, hundreds of thousands of fleeing everywhere, from the airport, from the border, everywhere. Why they are fleeing? Because they are scared of Taliban, because they have not seen any change in the Taliban. And that's why they are fleeing. And of course, it's like when the people see the Taliban coming, they think that there's a coffin on their shoulder, and everyone thinks that they will be put on that coffin. So that's why they're really kind of running for their lives. So there is no change as far as we know. Right now, for example, we have been saying that let's talk peace, but for the past 4 or 5 days, they have been continuously attacking with all the forces on Panjshir, and that's not a change. So far, they have put that resistance. And let me say that no matter how far, how long that resistance will go, but already we know that Panjshir has become the symbol of the resistance and has been the symbol of the resistance. And no matter who is winning or losing in the military field, but what really matters is the resistance will stay alive, because already that has really kind of expanded across Afghanistan, even across the world. Every voice that has been raised against the Taliban, against their belief, is part of the resistance. So therefore, we have got women of Afghanistan, which makes up half of the population. They don't believe. They are not. They are against the Taliban beliefs. They are part of the resistance. The young generation part of the resistance. Civil society part of the resistance. So media part of the resistance. So therefore, the resistance has already expanded itself very much. Now it was initiated in Panjshir, but now it's across Afghanistan. That's the voice of the resistance. Well, of course, the Western was part. The Western world is concerned. Unfortunately, after 20 years of living in Afghanistan, the way they left Afghanistan, it was very disappointing, because they really kind of, it was a shock for everybody. They really thought that maybe they will withdraw from Afghanistan in a fashion that at least people cannot be shocked, so they can find a way out of something. But that did not happen. So a lot of people got trapped in Afghanistan itself. So they're very disappointed about the Western world. And but of course, since then there are voices coming from different corners of the Western world in support of the resistance and against the Taliban. It's good. We welcome that one. But unfortunately, those Western world that we called and people of Afghanistan really kind of put their trust on them. They broke the trust of the Afghan people altogether, and that has been very disappointing. Well, we have already said that. Well, let's talk about it. Don't forget that before they come to Kabul, there have been talks for the past 1.5 years as far as peace was concerned in Doha and different places, but it did not work like that. It means that the Taliban mindset is not for peace. That's kind of a warring faction. They continue to do. That's a very theological group. They will continue to really go fighting. So they are not the people who will make the government. So that is why, if that peace process for the past 1.5 years with all international community failed, it means that their mindset is not for peace. Their mindset is just to continue with the war. And I'm not very kind of hopeful, expecting that they will make peace. And that's unfortunate. What we are really looking for, we said that if you want peace, let's work out what sort of system we can have in Afghanistan through which the people of Afghanistan can exercise their right. What sort of government system, what sort of political system we can have in Afghanistan, which really can respond to all ethnicities in Afghanistan. Because in Afghanistan, there are about more than 30 ethnicities, and Taliban represent only one ethnicity. So
Yeah.
therefore, we really kind of go and look for a sort of inclusive government which could represent all ethnicity, all beliefs, all ideas, and all desire of the people. That's really the basis for peace, the basis for accommodation, the basis for kind of getting together. I don't know whether Taliban will respect such thing, but I don't think so. They may say that, well, we have got our own emirate, we can get some people from different ethnicities to be part of the government, but that does not really kind of represent the ethnicity. They just want to hire to get somebody in order to just to show, because so far we have not seen yet change in their attitude. Well, I mean, I scare something new in Afghanistan. I've never heard before. I mean, for the past few days, this American who said there is ISK. I don't know what is that one. I know there are a lot of terrorist groups, but ISK is new in Afghanistan. I don't know exactly what do they mean by that one. And or they're either terrorist group or they're making a new brand or they are making a sort of an address. I don't know. But it did not exist in Afghanistan. But what we know that there are many terrorist groups who have come with the Taliban together inside Afghanistan. Well, that's unbreakable. Of course, the Taliban have not really broken their ties with a terrorist group, including Al Qaeda. That's for sure. That we know that one. And soon, you will know. Everybody know. The whole world will know that the Taliban cannot get rid of them, and they are not willing to get rid of them. Even if they are willing, they cannot get rid of them because they are very kind of part of the whole movement of Taliban, and they'll be there. And they are not there to really kind of uh, do something good for Afghanistan or to make a government for Afghanistan. They are there to spread because these terrorist groups who have come to Afghanistan, they have not come just for Afghanistan. They are there just to use Afghanistan to spread their idea everywhere else. At the moment, we really don't know who, because there are so many powers that are here. Everybody is really kind of giving us very different messages, even conflicting messages. We still don't know. Probably they may be waiting to see what sort of government the Taliban are announcing and who is who, and then they will take action. But at the moment, we cannot judge really. Well, my message is that don't forget that Afghanistan is very important. If the terrorism really kind of take roots there, Afghanistan will become a hub of terrorism, and countries in the region and extra region, especially European, will be affected by that one. Let me say that 20 years back, when my brother was alive, we came here to Europe. He gave this message to the world community: be careful about the terrorism. Today is our problem. Today will be your problem. They did not listen to what happened like after 20 years that across the world you can see terrorism spreading everywhere. But now we are saying that be careful about the Taliban, and they have got lots of terrorist groups with themselves, and they're connected. They have not really disconnected. They have not disengaged themselves from the terrorists. Be careful about them, not to recognize them, and put pressure on them to really kind of come in sort of inclusive government, or if they really kind of start going with the war and continuing war, the whole thing like that, the world community have to stand against this sort of idea. When we say that to stand against the idea, not just because we are saying this one, stand because their ideas, their beliefs goes against the whole ideas of the universal ideas, universal belief. So that is why when I say women's right, men's right, when I say freedom of media, freedom of press, democracy, election, that's our universal values that we all respect. But the Taliban altogether, they're against that one. So don't think that if they take root in Afghanistan, with all this terrorist group which has come from across the world in Afghanistan. If the Afghanistan becomes the hub of terrorism, how many countries, how many people will be affected by that one? Of course, we have lost many things in Afghanistan. We have lost a lot of people. We have lost the whole country. But what about the rest of the world, the rest of the countries, regional power, extra-regional power, all of this one? They all will be affected by that one. So my message is that we really have to take care of such things. We have to really kind of coordinate our action, how exactly to curb the spread of terrorism and extremism across the globe.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Mr. Massoud.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much for joining
Bye.
us. Thank you.
Bye.